Okay. Just want to hug him. Okay. Sorry. So today we're going to talk about Jonathan's adoption. And with Jonathan, we went private domestic adoption, which means when you adopt privately, that's when you get matched with a birth mom, and domestic because that's within the United States as opposed to international. So we went private domestic with Jonathan. We started the process in 2010. So when we decided we wanted to adopt a boy, we went through private adoption and worked with a facilitator, an adoption facilitator. So we had to do a home study, which was a pile of paperwork, and it was a interview based or paperwork based on how we parent, our family dynamic, and asked us all of our personal questions about how we were raised and our parenting and how our parents parented us, right?
Yes.
So that was a process as well, and that took a few months to complete. Then we had to put together an adoptive parent profile. Pictures of our family, what our family's all about, and so we had to put that together. And I think nowadays people do videos for that. And what they do is if our facilitator finds a birth mom, they present our letter to the birth mom. And like she'll get a stack of different letters from different families, and then she chooses which one. And the home study is only good for a year. So after the year, we would have to do it all over again. And the fees would start all over again. So we only gave it a year, and we definitely just put it in God's hands. So during the year, we got a few calls from our facilitator saying she was going to present our letter, and if they matched us, then she would give us a call. So every time the phone rang, we would oh, maybe.
Hoping it was her.
Yes. And so we never got matched. Also, we were very open to all races. Like for us, it didn't matter just if a boy.
Son, yes.
A son. That's all we cared about. Now it's April. It's almost May. It would have been actually May of 2011. It would have been a year. So now we were in April 2011, and we haven't gotten matched yet. So lo and behold, I had just left to go run an errand. I get a phone call. It's Good Friday, 2011. And Caesar calls and says, we have a match. So come back home. I just left. Oh, and he said, please call. Here's the number. So then I had to call the facilitator and the agency. And they had to, we had to exchange information. They were going to send us over his picture and all the information. So I headed home. And Caesar was right there at the door like, what? What's going on? What's going on? And then I was like, well, they're sending us information. So I opened the email. There was this cute little picture. And so we're like, oh my gosh. So we grabbed a flight, or we took a flight, a red-eye flight that night to Minnesota because he was born in Minnesota, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Gabby had never flown before. It was her first time on an airplane. So we had to fly over to Minnesota, and it was really, really early in the morning. So we got into our hotel, got ready, and they said, just go to the hospital and meet the birth mom. So that's what we did. And so we walked into her room, and we met Jonathan. At the time, he didn't have a name yet. She sat with us, and she said, do we have a name picked out? And we did. We liked the name Nicholas. But we thought it would be really special if we named them all together. So we asked her what name she liked, and she liked Jonathan. And Gabby said, Nicholas, Jonathan. No, Jonathan, Nicholas. Yeah. So we all heard when she said that, and we were like, yeah, actually that does go. It flows way better. So
yes.
That's how he got his name, Jonathan Nicholas. So she chose us to be his adoptive parents, adoptive family, because Gabby too, she met Gabby. We couldn't go anywhere because the caseworker at the hospital left already. So we had to stay at the hospital because they couldn't release Jonathan. So they gave us a family room. They set up a whole room for me, Gabby, and Caesar, and we stayed there. And they even put the band, like the hospital band, on me that matched Jonathan.
I also got to change his diaper when I first met him, and feed him his bottle.
And Gabby too.
Yes.
Yeah, we got to put you to sleep and bond with you in the hospital in the meantime. Then they released us with you, like the end of the weekend.
Yeah.
Then one of the nurses, she was so sweet, she exchanged information with us and was like, call me if you ever need any help. They were so nice. People were really, really nice. So we went to our hotel, and then we found out we couldn't leave. Since we were in another state than California, we needed what's called ICPC approval to leave the state with Jonathan. But of course, ICPC was closed. So, and they were closed. I think something was going on, and they were closed for a few days, but Caesar and Gabby had to go back. So I stayed with Jonathan. My dad flew out to stay with me, and we stayed for a few more days waiting for ICPC to clear us. And so I don't even think you remember this, but we went to the Mall of America and hung out there with Grandpa. So you actually got to see that. A few days later, with the approval, then we flew home. So just in time for Gabby's first communion.
Yes.
So we were able to celebrate her first communion. We didn't have to miss that.
You attended as well.
Yeah. Yeah, you're like, welcome, I'm here, guys. And there's the first communion. So that was pretty awesome. So we had to wait 6 months before getting his adoption finalized. So in the meantime, we just bonded. He was a great baby. He slept really well.
Yes, he did.
Would sleep at least in the beginning, like 3 to 4 hours, and then it went to 4 to 5, then 4 to 6. Like, he was a really good sleeper.
Yes.
Then we were able to adopt Jonathan on December 16th, 2011. And his toddler, he learned fast. He loved books. And remember, he was talking, like, no one would believe us, but I'm going to show you some footage. He was talking really early, remember?
Yes.
He was, and people were like, no way, he's not talking. We're like, yeah, he's talking, like, really, really young. Go, go, go. Yay! Oh, you're so cute.
You like the dog? Yeah?
You like the dog? Oh. Oh, okay. And then anything we taught him, got it. ABCs, numbers, shapes, anything.
ABCs, ready? 1, 2, 3. You got food. Food came out.
Really, really young. Got it really, really quick.
Love learning.
Loved.
Like learning how to tie my shoe.
Yes. 3 years old. He learned how to tie a shoe at 3 years old. I'm not lying. He wanted to learn. And this is totally Jonathan. When he wants to learn something, he will work on it until he gets it.
Yes, he won't stop.
He won't stop. I'm talking it could be like an hour or so, and he'll keep doing it. So when he told Caesar, I want to learn how to tie my shoes, Caesar was like, okay, and showed him. And he worked on it for like a good hour or so, just tying it back to back to back. And then he got it.
Figured it out.
Yeah, he goes, look, I did it. We're like, yeah, okay. Because he was only 3. We're like, okay, you tie your shoes. And then we're like, oh my God, you tied your shoes. Like, he honestly tied his shoes at 3. It was crazy. Here's Jonah tying his shoes.
Go.
Yeah, go, Papa. Good job, Jonah. Wow, you're fixing. Good job, Papa. But that's him. That whatever he wants to do, he puts his mind to, and he just does. And that's, I mean, as a baby, as a toddler, that's him. That's always been him. And in preschool, like the teacher's like, he's more of my aide than he is, because he's like really mature and he's very, he's just a great listener and is very respectful.
Very helpful.
Very helpful. So he would always help the teacher with the other kids in the class. And he already knew how to do most of the things anyway they were doing in pre-K, but it's always good to learn without mom and dad around. So
yes.
And he was awesome. They loved him. And to this day, all teachers have always loved Jonah. Yes. Oh, that's his nickname. Jonah's his nickname because his name is Jonathan. And you want to explain that?
Yes, Jonah came from my mother, who speaks Spanish, and called him Jonathan in Spanish, would say Jonathan, and then stuck with just Jonah. Jonathan, Jonah.
Yeah, so then it stuck with us, and we're like Jonah.
Jonah. Jonathan.
Yeah, so we call him Jonah. That's Jonathan, this amazing kid that you guys get a chance to meet. And he's awesome.
You're awesome, dude.
He's an awesome kid. We're super blessed to have him.
He's doing a great job.
Yes. Any final words, love?
I love you guys and my family.
Oh, trying to make us cry.
We love you.
We love you so much. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.